Liverpool Football Club are on the verge of clinching their second Premier League title and their 20th top flight title in total, after taking a commanding 12-point lead over Arsenal at the time of recording after beating Everton 1-0. And it's been a pivotal campaign. Even though we've had losses in the Champions League to PSG and we lost the Carabao Cup final to Newcastle, those setbacks haven't hampered our league form. Mo Salah has been instrumental this season, achieving numerous milestones. He became the first Premier League player in history to both score and assist in 37 separate matches, surpassing Wayne Rooney's record. Additionally, he's reached his 100th away goal for Liverpool and also recorded his 100th assist for the club. Defensively, Van Dijk has been an absolute giant, winning 81.4% of his aerial duels this season, which is the highest success rate since Opta began collecting that data in 2012. His leadership has been crucial at the back for maintaining Liverpool's stability. The team's home form at Anfield has been formidable as well, with Liverpool boasting a best home record in the Premier League with 15 wins in 19 fixtures, and that one blip of the 1-0 loss against Nottingham Forest. But the season is reaching its climax, and also the decisions need to be made on the contract situations for Trent, Salah and Van Dijk. And that is where this video back to the channel. And yes, as I say, this is a very special rebuild. It is a one-season shot at rebuilding Liverpool after those big three players leave the club. Now, that is a distinct possibility in real life terms. Nobody actually knows what is happening with the contract situation with Trent, Salah or Van Dijk. And from a Liverpool fan's perspective, it could mean anything. It really could. We've all seen the rumours. We've all watched the stories coming out. Nobody actually really knows what is going to go on. But in my own personal feelings, I think all three are going to leave this summer. And that is exactly how I have dealt with it on the game. So what I have done is, we are now on the 3rd of June 2024. If we have a look at the Premier League, I have simulated one season into the future to put it to the point of the start of last season in real life. And this happened. I don't actually believe it, but it has actually happened. Liverpool won the league in this one season that got simulated before I make all the changes. And not only that, they won the Carabao Cup in a freaky turn of events. So this simulated season kind of mirrored what is already going on this season. And if I remember rightly as well, if I have a look at the Champions League as well, we have a look at the group stages. Oh no, round of 16. Liverpool there got through the round of 16 past Sporting. Quarterfinals, actually beat PSG in the quarterfinals this time and lost in the semis to Man City. Very, very freaky how that's actually worked out. But that being said, if we go on to Liverpool and have a look at their actual squad, this is what I have done. So, oh, where's he gone? Van Dijk. Okay, so Van Dijk, I edited for a free transfer to leave. I have also edited Trent to leave at the 1st of July. And I've also done the same with Salah to leave on a free transfer at the end of the season. Now, obviously, this is a season that was simulated by the computer. I've had no input besides those three players leaving at the end of the season. But the game also did buy Theo Hernandez and Hidemasi Morita in a strange turn of events. So they definitely went out and got a left back, a really, really good left back actually, in Theo Hernandez. So no complaints there on that one. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to load myself in as the manager of Liverpool. I'm going to make some transfers on how I think this rebuild in real life will go, and we'll see where it takes us. So I'll see you guys in a couple of seconds. Right, here we are. So we are on the 11th of August 2024. So I've gone a couple of months in. I loaded myself in as the manager of Liverpool, and I have taken charge. Kind of. First things first. In fact, actually, I'll go back to the finances. The finances of the club are looking absolutely beautiful. I've still got a whopping great big transfer budget because there has been a lot of movement. Also, the fact that, and I think this is going to play into our hands in real life, is the fact that the wage bill got reduced so much. With Salah and Van Dijk leaving, and Trent, that gave like an extra 600,000 a week into the wage budget, which I managed to adjust on the slider up and down. So I could adjust that and have a wage budget of nearly 5.5 million, and currently only spending 3.6. And that's what I could have it at. I could still have 80 million. I could still go out and buy like one player, but I don't need to as such. So the finances are looking very, very good. But also to keep this as realistic as possible. Obviously, when you come into the game, the manager loses his job. So Slot lost his job. And the club will only allow me to have one assistant manager. Now, I could have got rid of Sipka Hulsov, but I like him as an assistant manager. So I decided to keep him in, and I brought Slot back in as one of my coaches instead. But I also have put him in charge. So basically, for all intents and purposes, it is still Slot there. The only thing that I will control is if I do put any players in specifically, they will stay in, and the tactic will stay the same when I simulate the season, as per usual. But we did spend a bit of money, and some money was made as well, I'd say. We did start off with a transfer budget at the end of the season. I think it was about 100 or so million, but with players leaving as well. So if we go back to the previous season, those two players obviously got brought in by the game. That's fine. But I did get rid of some players before the save point. So Diogo Jota left 25 million, PSG. Kelleher went to Arsenal, 21.5. Tyler Morton went to Leeds for 15. Calvin Ramsey went for 10 million to Bournemouth, and a couple of others. Tsimikas, he was out on loan for the season at AC Milan, and this is a thing of beauty because Tsimikas went for 35 million to AC Milan. Mugged them. Darwin Núñez went to Real Madrid for 32.5 million, and then obviously you got the free transfers that have freed up the wages as well. But it's the transfers that I brought in that you guys want to see, isn't it? So here we go. Starting from the bottom, I had a little bit of money left over before a couple of sales came through, and I decided to bring in a young English midfielder, Chris Rigg from Sunderland. Very talented and very highly thought of, and again, it is a name that has been linked. And also these names here, I went onto one of the websites, I looked at all the transfer rumours that have been compiled and who had been linked. I scouted all of them and basically just took my pick, plus a couple who I think haven't been rumoured to be linked with us, but I still think Liverpool will look at these type of players. It would be our type of signing, if you know what I mean. So Chris Rigg is definitely a type of signing that we would look at, that's for certain. Potentially a new Jordan Henderson from Sunderland to Liverpool, who knows. Jaden Nadai, a pacey left or right winger, Dutch again, from AZ Alkmaar. Very high potential. I think he's having a pretty decent season over in Holland. That is another one who I think could come through. Enzo Sternal, a very talented attacking midfielder. Again, this one has not been linked with Liverpool, but I think this is a style of player that we would go for, and he's going to serve as a backup to the likes of Szoboszlai, McAllister and Elliott at the moment. Even though we did have Robertson staying, he is now the club captain. I needed to keep the leadership reasonably safe in the squad now that Salah, Trent and Van Dijk are gone, so Robbo is my club captain. We also have Theo Hernandez, which, okay, that's two left backs, but I wanted to bring another one in. I think Miguel Gutierrez is definitely one that we'd look at. Again, another player that Liverpool have been looking at in real life is Kirkes at Bournemouth. In real life, it looks like we're going to get him for about 40 odd million if he does come, but on the game they wanted about 80. I wasn't paying that. So Gutierrez was my next option. Very good choice as well. The striker I'll come to in a second. Vanderson, I have chosen as my right back. Again, a similar situation. I know Frimpong has been linked with Liverpool a lot, and that's because he has a 35 million release clause in his contract. Well, on the game, he re-signed the contract and the release clause went up to 75. I wasn't paying that, so again, I went for the next best option in Vanderson. Again, another player who I think really could work well for our club. And the centre-back option, Van Dijk's replacement. Schlotterbeck has been linked with us. He does have a release clause of 48.5 million, which I think actually in today's terms is a pretty decent amount for the quality of centre-back that he is, and he'll slot straight back in. So we have a slot and we have a schlotter. Interesting. And also the striker. Now, this is probably going to be the biggest bone of contention between Liverpool fans because we want a new striker. Núñez clearly hasn't done enough in real life. Isak is the one that we all want, but I realistically don't think FSG are going to pay out over £100 million for one player. It just isn't in their model. What is, though, is the likes of Hugo Ekitike, Victor Gyökeres, even Seshko to a certain point. Openda is another one. Omarodion is another one as well. But I think the best of that bunch at the right price is Gyökeres. And he's solid on the game. He's solid in real life. He'll get you goals. He will get you goals. So I think that is the best option that we have. And the squad is looking like this. So we have Alisson, Marmadashvili, Quansah, Konate, Gomez, Nalo, Vanderson, Bradley, Endo, Bajcetic, Robertson, Hernandez, Gutierrez, Slotterbeck, McAllister, Gravenberch, Morita, Chris Rigg, Jones, Elliott, Szoboszlai, Diaz, Gakpo, Chiesa, Sternal and Gyökeres. I think that's a really solid squad for this season. I have kept the tactics the same as what Slot would do in this 4-2-3-1. Regista. The only thing I have changed is the wing back. I put that as more of a natural wing back instead of an inverted one, because I think once Trent goes, that style of play will revert back to more of a wing back style. I don't think there are many players in the world that could do what Trent can do from that right back position. And also a complete forward. I toyed with the idea whether it's going to be a complete forward or a pressing forward. I'm not entirely sure yet. It may stick that way. I don't know. But if we do a pick of the best 11 without restriction at the moment, it goes Vanderson, Konate, Schlotterbeck, Robertson, Ali, Morita, Endo, Chiesa, McAllister, Diaz and Gyökeres. And the reason the midfield looks a little bit like that is because of the amount of injuries the game has given me. Gakpo's injured, Szoboszlai's injured. Szoboszlai's out for most of the season. Devastated at that. Bajcetic is injured and Gomez is suspended. So not the best thing to happen, but I'm pretty certain we'll be okay. There we have it, guys. That is the transfers that I've brought in. I've got the staff members back in. I've tried to make this as realistic as I possibly can with it just being a game. So let's go and simulate the season and find out exactly what happens. I'll see you guys in a few seconds. Champions! Come on. If this works out in real life, every Liverpool fan is going to be ecstatic, because that would mean number 21. And it also mean that we would be ahead of Man United on the titles list. This would not happen in real life. Man United are so far off the pace at the moment, it is ridiculous. I cannot see them challenging for a title in the next 5 years, to be honest. The club's not a mess. And that's not me like sort of being a typical Liverpool fan slagging off Man United. It is just the truth. The club is not a mess at the moment. They don't know their arse from their elbow. They're financially so mismanaged. There's a lot of issues going on in that club. So I can't see them even getting close to top 4, even top 6 in the next couple of seasons, unless something drastically changes. But that doesn't matter anyway, because in this simulation the transfers worked and we won the title. Did we win anything else though? No. Quarterfinal of the FA Cup by Crystal Palace, 4th round of the Carabao Cup by Arsenal, the Champions League, I believe it was the quarterfinals we got knocked out. Yeah, PSG got their revenge from last season, and actually, ironically enough, like in real life, they knocked us out in the quarterfinals of this. So it is what it is. And they're still to play the final. They got to play AC Milan. Obviously, we won the Community Shield at the start of the season, so overall, I'd say it worked. One point on this, I did stop the simulation around about January time, because one thing I noticed was that, we'll have a look at the goal scorers in a second, is that he was playing Gakpo a lot as the complete forward. And I didn't want that. It's not the reason why I bought Gyökeres. Gyökeres is a striker. He needs to be starting up front. So I changed it to a pressing forward role and I put Gyökeres in, and that's when his goals started going up more, thankfully. So that kind of did work in the end. If we have a look at the squad and actually have a look at the goals, him and Gakpo ended up with 19 this season. Not the best output, almost a 1 in 2. Is that something that would that be classed as a successful first season for him? Maybe. But the fact of the matter is, we got 16 and 13 from McAllister, 13 and 10 from Diaz, 8 and 6 from Jones, 6 and 8 from Chiesa, and that is really it. I mean, you think about the amount of goals that the likes of Salah scored. Yes, it's a little bit more spread out, but it's still not a massive amount. So, is Gyökeres the right option for us in real life? Maybe not. I may come back and do a striker option video. In fact, if you guys want to see that, leave a comment down below. I'm toying with the idea of doing a 5 striker option, 1 season at a time, doing a simulation of what striker would work best for Liverpool in that season, and we'll just see what happens. 5 different strikers. I'll go for Isak. I've done Gyökeres, so I'll go for Isak, Sesko, Omarodion, Retegui, and Openda. Let's say. Let's go those 5 strikers, possibly. Let me know down below what you think. And that's pretty much the end of the experiment. If you did like what you see, don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with all the content that we have here and the other videos that are coming out. I have quite a few planned in the works. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later. Ta-ra.